Ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Riding on the playground. No one dares to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
So those backpacks didn't mean nothing up in there, huh? Those frat boys up in that house with all those backpacks on, they weren't meaning nothing. They didn't have nothing to do with this whole thing.
It was an unusual discovery in northern Washington state near the Canadian border. Agents on patrol near a port of entry found 2 backpacks lying on the ground in the woods. Inside, they found 30 brick-like packages containing a powdery substance which tested positive for cocaine. The cocaine is estimated to be worth more than $1.1 million. Board officials turned the evidence over to the Drug Enforcement Administration. Under federal law, most confiscated drugs are destroyed, although samples may be used for prosecution.
Listen up. What have I been telling you about them testing things on the people and making them nuts? Like just seeing what's going to happen. Check this out. How Mexican cartels test F on vulnerable people and animals. Fent laced with xylazine, the animal tranquilizer known on the street as Trank, or at a safe house in Sinaloa State, where a cartel chemist demonstrated fent production methods for New York Times journalists. Wow. The cartel operatives came to the homeless encampment carrying syringes filled with their latest F formula. The offer was simple. According to 2 men living at the camp in northwest Mexico, up to $30 for anyone willing to inject themselves with the concoction. They paid them $30. One of the men, Pedro Lopez Camacho, said he volunteered repeatedly. At times, the operatives were visiting every day. They watched the rug take effect. Lopez, this is sickening, you guys. Oh my God. They watched the rug take effect, Lopez Camacho said, snapping photos and filming his reaction. He survived, but he said he saw many others who did not. When it's really strong, it knocks you out or kills you, said Lopez. Of the rugs he and others were given, the people here died. This is how Mexican cartels will go to dominate the fent business. Global efforts to crack down on the synthetic opioid have made it harder for these criminal groups to find the chemical compounds they need to produce the rug. The original source, China, has restricted exports of the necessary raw ingredients, pushing the cartels to come up with new and extremely risky ways to maintain fent production and potency. The experimentation members of the cartel say involves combining the rug with wide range of additives, including animal sedatives and other dangerous anesthetics. To test the results, the criminals who make the fent for cartels, often called cooks, say they inject their experimental mixtures into human subjects as well as rabbits and chickens. If the rabbits survive beyond 90 seconds, the rug is deemed too weak. Oh my God. The rug is deemed too weak to be sold to Americans, according to 6 cooks and 2 U.S. embassy officials who monitor cartel activity. The U.S. officials said that when Mexican law enforcement units have raided F labs, they have at times found the premises riddled with dead animals used for testing. They experiment in the style of Dr. Death, said Renato Sales, a former national security commissioner in Mexico. It is to see the potency of the substance. Like with this, they die, and with this they don't. That's how we calibrate. Oh my God. To understand how criminal groups have adapted to the crackdown, the New York Times observed F being made in a lab as well as a safe house, and spent months interviewing several people directly involved in the rug production. They included 9 cooks, 3 chemistry students, 2 high-level operatives, and a recruiter working for the Sinaloa cartel, which the U.S. government blames for fueling the synthetic opiate epidemic. You guys, I mean, listen to this. This is nuts. The Custom Border Protection. I mean, they're in safe house. They're actually doing this in safe houses. There's chemistry students. You don't think this isn't going on in Moscow and Pullman? Of course it is. The people connected to the cartel spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation. One cook said he recently started mixing F with an anesthetic often used in oral surgery. Another said the best additive he had found was a sedative for dogs and cats. Another cook demonstrated for Times reporters how to produce F in a cartel safe house in Sinaloa State in northwest Mexico. He said that if the batch was too weak, he added xylazine, an animal tranquilizer known on the streets as trank, a combination the U.S. officials warned can be deadly. You inject this into a hen, and if it takes between a minute and a half to die, it means it came out really good. The cook said, if it doesn't die and takes too long to die, we'll add some more xylazine. God dang. The cook's accounts align with data from the Mexican government showing a rise in the use of fent mixed with xylazine and other substances, especially in cities near the U.S. border. Like, The illicit market gives much more benefit from its substance by cutting them with different things such as xylazine. You enhance it and therefore need less product, referring to fent, and you'll get more profit. U.S. drug researchers have also noticed a rise in what one called weirder and messier fent. Having tested hundreds of samples in the U.S., they found an increase in the variety of chemical compounds in fent on the streets. So they're adding more and more to it, right? It's just a wild west of experimentation. Listen to this, said Caleb Bantagreen, a research professor at the University of Washington School of Medicine. What do I tell you? Who helped coordinate the testing of more than 580 samples of rugs sold as fent in Washington state this year. You don't say. He called it absolute chaos. Oh my God. This is crazy. The experiments, the synthetic opiates that reach American streets often begin in cartel labs where precision is not always a priority, cooks say. They mix up vats of chemicals in a rudimentary cook sites, exposing themselves to toxic substances that make some cooks hallucinate, retch, pass out, and even pass away. The cartels are actively recruiting university chemistry students to work as cooks. One student employed by the cartel revealed that to test their formulas, the group brought in rug users living on the street and injected them with a synthetic opiate. No one has ever passed away, the student said, but there have been really bad batches. We've had people convulse or start foaming at the mouth. Exactly what's going on in Moscow, you guys. What did I tell you? What did I freaking tell you? Oh my God. Mistakes by cooks were met with severe punishment, she added. Oh, it's a female. That's a wow. Armed men locked the offenders in rooms with rats and snakes and left them there for long stretches with no food or water. The cooks, oh my God. The cooks are high-level operatives described the cooks and high-level operatives described the Sinaloa cartel as a decentralized organization, a collection of so many disparate cells that no single leader or faction had complete control over the group's F production. That's even, I mean, I don't know which is scarier, to tell you the truth. Some cooks said they wanted to create a standardized product that wouldn't take the lives of users. Others said they didn't see the lethality of their product as a problem, but as a marketing tactic. In the U.S. federal indictment against the sons of notorious rug lord Joaquin Guzman Loera, known as El Chapo, who led the powerful faction of the Sinaloa cartel, prosecutors and the group sent F to the United States even after an addict died while testing it in Mexico. Jeez. Instead of scaring people off, cartel members, drug users, and experts say that many American users rush to buy a particularly deadly batch because they know it will get them high. One passes away and 10 more addicts are born. Oh man, that's so sad. And one high-level operative for the cartel. Don't worry about them. We don't worry about them. Jeez. The boss. The boss knew something was wrong when the hens stopped keeling over. He said he'd been in the rug business since he was 12, when he started apprenticing at a H processing site. Now a soft-spoken 22-year-old, the boss, said he taught himself how to produce illicit rugs by studying the older, more experienced men he worked with. Eventually, he started his own business with a friend. The boss said his business grew so fast that as soon as he was running 3 F labs, the rug had made him millions of dollars. Every time he goes to one of the labs, he says he brings 4 or 5 rabbits from the local pet store. If the F his people make is potent enough, he will inject and unalive only one to be sure it is fit for sale. 2 pet store employees in Sinaloa who spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation from cartel members confirmed that the cheapest rabbits are known to be purchased for rug testing. Man. Oh, it makes me sick to my stomach. The boss's other test subjects are hens from nearby ranch. Many F cooks test their product on chickens according to the U.S. Embassy officials. Until recently, the boss said every time he injected a hen with F, they would either pass away, fall over, or stumble around as if they were drunk. All the locals knew not to eat the chickens or eggs from the ranch. But recently, the animals weren't having a strong reaction to the rug, even though his process hadn't changed. They were getting used to it? Is that what he's trying to say? That's crazy. His employees were logging the same hours at the same modest lab in the mountains, starting at 5 a.m. and sleeping there for days on end. They were working with the same equipment, laboratory shakers, trays, containers, blenders, everything, you name it, to mix up the final product. The boss said he eventually concluded that the culprit was a very diluted supply of the chemical ingredients from China. The result was a bunk product. It's too weak, he said. To fix the problem, the boss first tried combining F with ketamine, a short-acting anesthetic, but said users did not like the bitter taste that came with smoking the mix. It worked much better to add procaine, he said, a local anesthetic used often to numb small areas during dental procedures. When asked whether he felt guilty about producing a rug that causes mass death, the boss said all he was doing was giving his customers what they wanted. If there weren't all those people in the United States looking to get high, he wouldn't sell anything, he said. It's their fault, not ours. We take advantage of the situation. God, man. How long is this? It's pretty long. Gotta make sure I've got enough room in here. The cook. One cook we spoke with said he got into F business a few years ago to pay off growing debts. At first, the former shop owner regularly got sick from the exposure to the fumes. He said the armed cartel members in charge had no patience for it. You may throw up at the beginning when you start if you take a quick break and take some air, said the cook, but soon enough, one of them will scream at you to get back to work. A boss once shot him just because he didn't answer a question quickly enough, he said, pulling up his shirt to reveal his stomach scar. He is constantly experimenting with ways to make F stronger, tweaking his formula and testing it on his lab assistants, many of whom have become addicted to in the process, he said. God. If the product comes out strong, he passes it on to his supervisors to try. The cook said he knows all the improvisation adds up to an unpredictable product. Each batch he makes is different, he said, meaning clients who buy the exact same F pills may get a widely different dose from week to week. He's never fully disclosed his job to his family, simply saying he's off to work and then returning weeks later with a lot of cash. He believes the money and the fear evident in his expression deter any questions. There is no retirement here, the cook said, adding to the cartel would likely kill him for trying to stop. There is just work and death. The article, oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. There you have it.